Alright, welcome to Tetris 99. I've played a lot of Tetris in my life. I'm pretty decent at Tetris. I'm gonna try and win. I know that this game's like dead and like half of the people are gonna be CPUs, but it's also the most alive battle royale like gimmick game, so hopefully there's still some people playing it. I know that a lot of people have been complaining about how empty this game is, but really the only way to solve that problem is by playing it. So I'm doing my part in playing Tetris 99 and hoping that we get more people involved. So yeah, let's run it. I'm rocking the Kirby skin. I think this was like, God, what's the strat here? You target like you get really high up and then you like target attackers or something. I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna play Tetris, I think. This is not the first time I've made a Tetris video. It is gonna be the first one I upload to Gold. It's not the first time I've made like a Tetris video on YouTube. I have some non-commentated ones on my main channel. There's one that's like sub 60-second sprint soon, and then I never uploaded a sub 60-second sprint. I've never done a sub 60-second sprint. I'm not really into sprint, so I've stopped doing it, and let's hit this T-spin. But basically, I'm bad. Why am I so bad? What is this? What is this? Basically, one of my first like early like journeys into Let's Play content was a Puyo Puyo Tetris Let's Play that I made, and then quite soon after I privated it because it was cringe, and it is cringe, but it's also like very me in 2019, so it's kind of fun to look back on. There are a few videos I made when I was younger that I deleted instead of like unlisting or privating, and that's kind of a shame. Like, I want to look back on those videos and I can remember some of them pretty well, so it's a shame that like I just can't find them. I used to upload these like, they were basically just for glory clips, but I think I had like a bunch of them in a playlist at some point, and for some reason I just deleted them, which is a shame because I think I had some pretty funny clips in there. The only like living remnant of that, remnant, FNAF reference, Freddy Five Bears, and the only like living remnant of what that was at the time is the World's Worst Little Mac video, which is on my YouTube channel. And that's like the only evidence that I even played Smash 4 as a kid. It was an early attempt into video editing, not the earliest. The earliest was like my 20XX TAS kind of videos. They weren't tasked properly, I just like slowed down the game in Cheat Engine. But like those early like melee task videos I made were actually my first entry into like video editing, but those were like Movie Maker, and World's Worst Little Mac, I think, was a pirated copy of Vegas Pro or something. So it's a different vibe. But yeah, like you can go on my main channel. The oldest video, I think. If it's not the oldest video, it's one of them. Like it's one of the oldest videos. You can go on my channel. You can take a look at World's Worst Little Mac. It's like the only evidence that I even played that game when I was younger. So it's a piece of history. Okay. I'm going to die if I don't do a combo here. Okay, that was not my best work. I would go as far as to say that might have been my worst work. We didn't even get top 50. Let's play again, and I'll try to play more carefully. I'm playing on Joy-Cons because I feel like Joy-Cons are actually like the best controller for this because they have buttons instead of like a single D-pad where you can accidentally like fast draw. The only problem is that I usually play on keyboard, so it's a little uncomfortable. I could play on my box, but it doesn't have the same as a keyboard layout, so like, it doesn't have WASD, so I can't really emulate the layout that I would normally use on PC, but maybe that means that the layout that I use on PC is flawed. It definitely is. There are some ways that I want to change it, but I'm resistant to change. I don't want to do that. And let's try a double triple cannon. How about it? that's good, that's good, that goes there, this goes here. I haven't done this in a long, long time. But I'm doing it. I've built the double triple cannon. Now I just need to double triple. But I needed to, oh, that was just a misinput. Okay, maybe I was wrong. Maybe misinputting is still very easy to do on the Joy-Cons, and I'm about to lose really early game. That would be embarrassing. The thing I used to do all the time on, and this is really toxic, the thing I used to do all the time in Puyo Puyo Tetris Online was DT cannon into 3-wide, and that just like obliterated everyone I played against. Occasionally you'd play against someone who was really good at like Puyo or something, and you'd actually struggle, but if you just did 3-wides in that game, you would absolutely destroy people. Combo was really overweighted from what I remember. I could be remembering wrong the specifics of Puyo Puyo Tetris scoring, but I do remember combos being absurdly powerful compared to like modern Tetris games, where I think like in Tetrio they're still like pretty good but not nearly as overweighted. But then maybe I'm remembering that wrong as well. I remember playing Tetris Friends. Tetris Friends was such a vibe. I mean, Tetrio is definitely better than what Tetris Friends was, and J-Stress was always there, but the loss of Tetris Friends was very felt, because it was a huge community of people who were like, you know, casual and non-casual alike, but I bet there's a lot of people who were on Tetris Friends that just never like kept engaging with like multiplayer Tetris. I'm sure they never gave up on Tetris entirely just because Tetris Friends went down, but how many of those people actually ended up playing on like Tetrio and places like that? I bet it's not most of them. Like, there were a lot of casual players there that are just like lost to time now. And like, you know, Tetris 99 gave Tetris a bit of a like modern reboot kind of thing. Like, a lot of people got into this game because of Tetris 99, which I appreciate a lot. There's a lot of attention on NES Tetris now because there's a lot of videos being made about it. The championships are very watchable, very fun, very exciting. Rolling is this thing where people are like, whoa, this is crazy. Like, it's something you can put in your YouTube thumbnail to get views, and people are like, whoa, what's rolling? That's cool. And I really appreciate all of that like attention on Tetris because the game's so cool. Like, I know I said Portal was like the best puzzle game ever. If you count Tetris, Tetris is the best. It's obviously not like campaign, so it wasn't exactly what I was going for when I said that Portal was a really good game in that video, but it definitely fits the bill. It is a puzzle game, and I think Tetris is really fun. I am not doing so well though. I'm really out of practice. I haven't played Tetris in a while. I'm not playing nearly as fast as I used to when I was like really into Tetris, but I think I should be doing better than this. Or like I feel like I should be able to do better than this. But it's fine, you know, like Tetris is just fun to commentate over and stuff, so. There are strats you can use where you go like super high up, and then everyone who's like targeting KOs, you can attack them all at once and get a bunch of kills. I did that and got a few like really high KO rounds, but there's no benefit to getting high KOs in this game really, other than badges of course. But there's no reason that you need badges to win. You kind of just need to be the better, and sometimes luckier Tetris player, because even though like you can always win if you're absurdly good, sometimes it is just randomly harder because more people decide to target you. So I have already fucked this up really bad, but it's definitely recoverable. It's just a bit embarrassing. I do want to play NES Tetris at some point, because I barely played it, and like, I'm definitely like modern Tetris player, so I think it could be fun to take a look at like the old game. There's no hold, it's completely random which pieces you get. Like, I think that's the part of the NES Tetris story about Blue Scooty, who beat the game for the first time and reached the true kill screen with like the game crashes, and I think the thing about that that's so impressive to me as a Tetris player is like the pieces are completely random. There's no bag randomizer in that game. It's just like you could absolutely get shat on by RNG, and somehow they still manage to play that long at that speed. Like it's physically demanding to roll that much. Like I've tried rolling. It's difficult to do. Like that's a hard thing to do. It's not like someone discovered rolling and suddenly like NES Tetris is easy now. Like no, it's still really hard. These players are just really good at what they do. They're really pushing the limits, and like I'm not the first person to make that observation, but I think if you don't play Tetris a lot, it's a lot harder to appreciate what they've done by beating the game. And there are a few other people who have done it now, or like a couple other people. I think it's 3 people have beaten like NES Tetris, like reached the crash. But I think the most exciting part about this crash thing, that like the new era of like NES Tetris we're in now, is there's more than one way to get that crash. So like it opens up a door to like several different kinds of challenges. It's no longer just about getting the highest score. Well, if you want to get the highest score, you have to avoid the crash, right? Like Blue Scooty could have kept playing if he didn't hit that single on that specific line. If it was a double, he could have kept playing, and he wouldn't have reached the crash, which is like what he was aiming for, so it's a good thing he did hit it. But imagine he wanted to like keep going and push the score even higher. Like you can still do that. You can keep going. You can reach a higher line count, and that's super exciting that like people are gonna be going for that. Like it's gonna happen. People are gonna be going for that next. Like that's the next thing. But also like you can speedrun the crash, right? You can reach it on earlier lines. There was a player who did that, who reached it on an earlier line than Blue Scooty did, and you can try to do it as fast as possible. There's a speedrun opportunity now in a game like Tetris that doesn't normally have speedrunning. I mean, I don't know how big the scene is for NES Tetris. Of course, Sprint is really popular with modern Tetris, so like there's a way to speedrun the game, but like it's completely different speedrunning X amount of lines compared to speedrunning, oh, just crash the game, you know, just do it. Like that's hard enough to do on its own, but like reaching the kill screen was hard enough to do on its own, and now people do it all the time in competitive matches, in like player versus player matches. People are hitting the kill screen just casually, and it's really impressive to watch. I'm really into watching NES Tetris. Like the tournaments and stuff are really, really cool. I'm really happy that there's a whole community about it, because I find it really entertaining to watch, and it would be a shame if that game were forgotten because of the newer Tetris games, which like, yeah, I prefer the new Tetris games, but like, there's such a different, there's just such a difference between NES Tetris and every modern Tetris iteration. Like, these things can and should coexist. I was playing Tetris Connected, like Tetris Effect Connected or whatever, the sequel to Tetris Effect. And like, oh, don't get me started on Tetris Effect. That game is fucking fantastic. Like, absolutely beautiful game that I'm sure I'll get the opportunity to talk about if I play it. But I was playing Tetris Effect Connected, and they have this like raid mode where you basically fight a really good CPU. I mean, the CPU is not good, it just has better stats than you, because it's got like a health bar or whatever. And I thought, like, this is not a novel way to play Tetris, but I wish someone made like a whole game out of this with like, I don't know, gear and stats and stuff. Like, there's this roguelike called Peglin, and it's basically like a Peggle roguelike. I'm looking for something like that, but instead of a roguelike, it's an RPG, and it's like Tetris. Like, imagine how fun that would be if the gameplay was Tetris, but the whole like surrounding it was, it's kind of RPG MMO stuff where like you get gear and you fight these bosses, and like if you're absurdly good at Tetris, maybe you can fuck them up without having the best gear, but if you're not so good at Tetris, then maybe your gear can carry you, stuff like that. And I thought like this raid boss mode is kind of like really cool. in that context. In the context of the game, it's like a half-implemented feature almost. It's like why are we doing like a co-op raid boss? Is it just to like add a co-op mode to the game? Like, I feel like there needs to be something surrounding it to make it like really engaging, but as it is now, it's still fun. It's just like, I kind of get bored of it because I'm basically playing single player, but there's no like motivation to do so. Like there's no reward for winning. I think there is a reward for winning. I think there's like levels and stuff, but they don't do anything. They're just cosmetic. I don't really remember. I don't play the game a lot. I just gave it a shot one day and I had fun with it. You know what the thing I'm doing now? The mistake I'm making that's making me so bad at the game. I figured it out. I have not looked at my next in a hot minute. I have not looked at the next up very much at all. It's hard to get into that though. Like when I was playing Tetris Friends and Puyo Puyo Tetris and stuff, like the main thing holding me back, I was a decently fast player, but I was always reacting to the next thing. Like I looked one piece ahead. One piece? It's actually really possible to look multiple pieces ahead. It's just, it takes a lot of focus. And it takes you gotta play Tetris a lot to get to that point. Because, you know, when you're really into Tetris, you kind of see the pieces and immediately you have a plan for them. If you stop playing Tetris for like a few months, you have to get back to that point. Like it takes a while to get back to the point where you're able to do that. Like it's not like riding a bike at all. That's a skill that will leave you because like what else is similar to that? That's all. The only application that has is playing Tetris. So if you're not playing Tetris, that skill is out the window. Like there are some skills that transfer between games. And I guess that's a skill that transfers between like other puzzle games, other like top-down block dropping puzzle games. Like I'm sure that's a bigger thing as well. Almost certainly it is. But you know, if you're not playing one of those kinds of games, it just escapes you. I mean, it escapes me. I should speak for myself more. It just escapes me. Maybe it doesn't escape you. Maybe for you, you don't play Tetris, but you come back to it and you're just like goated. That could happen. Oh, come on, this input. It's fine. I'll clear the line. It's fine. I've never been good at T-spin triples. Like, I know setups for them, but I never go for T-spin triples. Crap. All of this is bad. I'm struggling to commentate here because I'm focusing on not dying, but I'm obviously like focusing pretty poorly if this is the stack that I've come up with. Jesus. Okay, here's my opportunity to clear it out. Let's build up here for a T-spin double. That's almost good. That's almost good. I gotta clear this, which will take a couple lines of work. But yeah, that's the thing. When I have hold and I have all these like modern Tetris amenities, I feel like I can come back from anything. Like I might not be fast enough if I'm presently under attack in a game of Tetris 99, but like the game peaks out at a certain speed in like Puyo Puyo Marathon. I feel like I can do that endlessly. In fact, I think I did max out once on score. Obviously, I like took breaks, paused the game, but like I did max out once because the game peaks at a certain speed and it's a very playable speed. It's not like that hard. Like it requires you to be on it, but it's so doable. It's so doable. Okay, we're middle welling. In fact, let's just go for Tetrises. Why not? Actually, I can think of a reason why not. But we'll just cool for Tetris. Remember that guy, Wumbo, I think? Who did like a bunch of Tetris 99 challenges where he would win by doing like only single line clears. He won with 0 KOs. He won with like only placing blocks to the music, stuff like that. I find that endlessly entertaining to watch. Someone who's like so good at Tetris that they're practically just able to win doing anything. Like putting additional constraints on yourself in a game like Tetris 99 is absolutely the most baller thing you can do. It's like, I'm so good I don't even need to try, basically. Whereas like I'm out here fighting for my life. Like yeah, at this point everyone who's going to be playing on an average day is going to be pretty decent at Tetris. This is not like that popular of a game anymore, right? I mean, it's still the most popular like gimmicky battle royale that Nintendo's put out. I don't think like anyone's... Yeah, okay, I'll take that. I'll take... What did I get? 5th? 4th? I'll take 5th. I'll call that a video. Thanks for watching. I'll definitely make another Tetris video at some point. Probably Puyo Puyo Tetris.